Earlier this year, somebody that I had to see pretty regularly did something that made me really, really, really mad. I don't want to get into the big details of it. I don't want to say what the context was that this person did this. Somebody just did something that made me really, really mad. And it was a person that I had felt some level of trust in. Never totally, because I felt like I kind of had a reputation for doing things like this. But I had kind of like let that reputation go. I was like, I let my own personal experience of you speak for itself. And then it did when they did something that really, really upset me and made me not trust them and frankly not really feel good when I'm around them, not want to talk to them, not want to make any attempt to reach out to them. Made me very much want to turn away from them. Which made me want to put myself in circumstances that I did not have to see them anymore. And it was so weird that in the midst of this, first of all, this person never seemed to realize that I had these feelings toward them. And I've never really told them. That's one thing I somewhat regret, but I know the reasons why I didn't tell them that I was feeling that way. I never really told them that I was feeling that way. And then the next time that I saw them, when I was really in the thick of these negative feelings toward them, they asked me, hey, could you walk with me just like this little ways? Because there's a guy that's really giving me a bad feeling that I would like to feel safe, walking past. Man. And in an instant, I was like, man, I was frustrated. You know why? Because I was like, man, I can't hate you, can I? In an instant, you asking me that. I know it's a favor of me that you're asking. Like you're asking something of me when I'm mad at you. And that should frustrate me more, but counterintuitively, I let go of a lot of resentment immediately to see this person in need. Because it made me humanize them instead of demonize them like I had been. I've gotten really good at not demonizing people the last few years, or at least being conscious of the fact, when I'm doing it, but there are still circumstances where people do things, especially to me, because I'm the most important thing in the world in my own head, where I felt like demonizing is actually justified in this, or I wouldn't call it demonizing, obviously, because I don't want to admit that I'm doing it. But more or less, I was telling myself, like, demonizing is justified in this situation because they legitimately wronged me. And I can't come down on myself for thinking or feeling any way that I thought or felt. I'm always doing the best that I can with any given level of development. But, it's just, in an instant, I saw a person. I didn't just see somebody who had wronged me in some way. And I saw a kernel of reason in the way that they acted. I know that they cannot be any other way but the way that they are. And like, what is the point in me banging my head against the wall saying this person should be different? Or if they can't change, I shouldn't have to deal with this person. I have to deal with people of all varying levels of difficulty in my life. It's like you kind of just got to get used to it. You kind of just got to suck it up. I mean, not suck it up. That's not, I don't like, that's a mean way of saying it, but you kind of just have to let it be there. Yeah, it's been scientifically shown that like you can get people to like you by asking them to do you a very small favor. Because then when they do that, they have this sort of self-perception thing where they are like, oh, well, I'm doing this thing for them. That means that I must view them as somebody worth doing something for. They start putting those pieces together subconsciously. And the thing about subconscious stuff is that you can even be aware that it's happening subconsciously, and it will still happen subconsciously. These little placebos you do with yourself. And so I did it. I walked with this person. And it felt good. And I definitely felt, goodness me, to spite myself, I definitely felt a bond with them that day that, I still feel to some degree. And we're not going to be best friends. I still feel very uncomfortable talking to this person about a lot of things. Like for my own well-being, I kind of still need to keep a level of distance from them. But it's like, we'll always have that. I also love the image. There's something beautiful about the fact that it was walking with someone. Walking with someone can bond you to them. Sitting with somebody is great in some instances, and walking with somebody, the actual motion, we are moving along in our lives side by side, just makes me think about like the passage of time and moving through this world and all the people that come in and all the people that go off, and for a little while you just get to walk side by side with people. And you're not always conscious of it, but walking side by side with people really does benefit you. Even the difficult people can make you see some real beauty in the world.